Imagine an AI that doesn't just talk to you, but can actually use your computer for you. I'm talking about booking flights, digging up information, and knocking out all those tedious tasks with just a single command. Well, that future might be a lot closer than you think, all thanks to a really cool new development called Fara-7B. Let's get into it and break down how this thing actually works.
No, really, just pause and think about that for a second. What if you could just tell your computer what you wanted, and it figured out all the clicks, all the typing, all the navigating, and just got it done? So for example, you could just say, hey, book 2 tickets to see Wicked at the AMC on 19th Street, and boom, the AI would actually go to the website, find the showtimes, select the seats, and get everything ready right up to the payment part. It handles every single step. See, this isn't just another chatbot, it's an agent that actually does stuff.
What we've just seen is the work of what's called a computer use agent, or a CUA for short. And this is really the next big frontier for AI. We're moving it from just the tool you chat with to a general-purpose assistant that can act on your behalf in the digital world.
So what makes the CUAs so powerful? Well, it perceives your screen and takes actions just like a person would. It's designed to take all those annoying, multi-step digital chores and just boil them down to one simple instruction from you. But as you can probably guess, building an agent like this has been incredibly difficult.
And the main roadblock? It's always been data. To teach an AI how to act, you need just massive amounts of examples showing how humans act. But for using our computer, that kind of data has basically been a ghost. It's a real data desert out there.
And this slide really lays out the problem perfectly. Training a chatbot is, well, not easy, but it's more straightforward because it can learn from the practically infinite library of text all over the internet. But training a computer agent? There's just no giant data set of recorded clicks, scrolls, and people actually trying to get stuff done on their computers. It just doesn't exist.
And try to create this data by hand? Yeah, that's a total non-starter. A single task can have dozens of steps. Having people sit there and label every single action would be astronomically expensive and would take forever. This is the exact problem that Microsoft's Fara project decided to tackle.
Their solution is a system they call FaraGen, and honestly, it's basically a synthetic data factory for these AI agents. So instead of relying on humans, it creates its own high-quality training data automatically and at an absolutely incredible scale. Now, how this process works is just brilliant. First, FaraGen looks at real websites and comes up with realistic tasks. Things like find a hotel in Chicago or buy this specific product. Then, a whole team of AI agents tries to solve these tasks, which generates millions of examples of how it could be done. And finally, and this is the genius part, a verifier agent acts like a quality control manager, checking all the work and only keeping the successful attempts.
And the result of all that? FaraGen can produce one complete, verified, successful example of a complex web task for, get this, about $1. $1. This makes generating data on a massive scale finally possible, and it just blows the whole data scarcity problem wide open.
So all of that amazing data was used to train this Fara-7B. It's a really compact 7 billion parameter agent that's designed specifically for using a computer. The goal wasn't just to build a capable agent, but one that was small and super efficient. Let's take a peek at how its design makes that happen.
The design of Fara-7B is just elegant. It works on a simple pixel-in, action-out principle. It sees the screen by looking at screenshots, just raw pixels, the same way you and I do. It doesn't need to try and understand a website's messy, unreliable underlying code. Instead, it just decides on a simple action, like click on these coordinates or type this text. It's way more robust and much more human-like. Okay, so here it is, the million-dollar question. We all know that in AI, bigger is often seen as better. So can a lean, mean 7 billion parameter model that was trained on this synthetic data actually hold its own against the massive frontier models out there like GPT-4o?
Well, the answer is a big, resounding yes. If you look at the Web Voyager benchmark here, Fara-7B hits a 73.5% success rate. Now, that doesn't just crush other models of a similar size, it's right up there with, and in some cases even better than, much larger models, like agents that are built on top of GPT-4o.
The researchers themselves put it perfectly. What this performance proves is that you don't necessarily need a gigantic model to get powerful agent abilities. What you really need is high-quality, targeted training data. Fara-7B is basically setting a whole new standard for efficiency.
Okay, so we've gone through the tech, the data problem, the performance,
But what does this actually mean for you, for us? Why should you care about a small, efficient AI agent?
This is where it gets really exciting. Because Fara-7B is small. It's small enough to run directly on your own device, your laptop, your phone, and this unlocks three massive benefits. First, way better privacy, because your screen data never has to be sent to the cloud. Second, lower latency, which means faster, snappier responses. And third, a dramatically lower cost, which makes this kind of technology accessible to pretty much everyone.
So, what this all boils down to is that Fara-7B isn't just another research project. It represents a real, tangible path toward having a powerful, private, and personal AI assistant built right into every single device we own.
And that leaves us with one final, fascinating question to think about. Once this technology is everywhere, and every computer has a capable agent just waiting to help, how is that going to fundamentally change the way we interact with our entire digital world?